wider. Heels are gonna kick in, and then we're gonna start a sideways sway. So my heels are at hip distance, mat distance apart, because this floor is really slippery, and I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't keep my heels attached. But your feet may look wider, since you have the grooves on the floor. All right, one more time on each side. Hopefully you have been using your feet to press the earth away. Now we are going to do a big heart opener. My left knee is going to come down under my left hip, then my right knee under my right hip. Back toes are tucked under. If you aren't under your plumb line, you might need to. If your fabric came up into your shoulders a lot, come on up and adjust it. Put it underneath that bra strap line, and maybe even a little lower. Good, lower your body weight once more. And our goal here, we're gonna reach around with, I'll start with my right since you can see it easy. And I kind of lift my foot and hook my hand around the top of my foot. Now spend a second here to let that right knee lengthen out and work that right heel behind your hips. You don't want it out here. You kind of want that hand behind your butt. Now we're gonna do the same on the left side. I'm gonna work my left hand all the way around behind me and kick up and grab it. Same thing. Let your weight drop. Spend a second. Look up toward the ceiling in the wall meet, or just toward the ceiling in a beam arm. Start to rock your body weight back. And then I want you to push your right foot into your right hand. Let that right knee come up off the ground. You feel that push into your armpit. It's pretty rich. Left foot goes into the left hand, knee comes up, and it comes back down. Now, if this is too much for you with hanging from your armpits, you're gonna stay right there and breathe and hold. If it feels accessible, I'm gonna walk my hands a little bit more toward my ankles since this hammock is low, but you can lift your knees and open your heart a little more, pushing your feet into your hands. You can look up toward the ceiling, but try not to drop all the weight of the head back. And then we're gonna release by bringing the knees back down to the earth. Release the feet, walk the knees back up, and go ahead and swing forward. Pull yourself on up, and let's get ready for that downward facing dog. Okay, so we're gonna come in your favorite way. You can either come forward into your plank and walk your way out in, or you can get ready for coming into it from standing behind your plumb line. I'm opening my fabric, flagging it, waving it one really big side to side of the flick of my wrist to make sure that it's not doubled up and that the edges are relatively uncurled, because that kind of hurts. And let's line up that fabric between thumbs and forefingers again, the outside of our hips. I'm underneath my plumb line. I'll inhale, lift the heels, and press that fabric down under my hip bones. From here, I'll exhale, fold forward, hands come hip distance, mat distance, apart, or a little wider than shoulders. Middle fingers pointed straight ahead, thumbs looking at each other. Press through the knuckles. Walk the feet back so you cannot walk them back anymore. Shoulders are at a 45-degree angle from my wrist. I'm not going to push up toes, but downward dog. Head stays between the biceps, and then I flex the feet. Inhale, lifting the heels, and then opening the legs really wide. Now we're going to hook those feet around, and on an exhale, I'm going to make a big swing. Why don't you watch this one, and then we can do it together. I'm going to make a really big swing. Oh, and I did not succeed the first time. All right, here we go. We're gonna try this again. Sorry. Hopefully this goes a lot smoother for you. One elbow comes through the middle. You can hold on. Other elbow comes through the middle. Hold on. We're in our infinity. To come forward, to come through. You're going to hold on here and here. Reverse. And swing through your middle. You have to peel back through again. You can also kind of just hang out here. This is fun, right? And I'll do this with you again. So let me show you how to come out. I'll lean back. It's very important that you keep your legs wide, and then you just release. There is a little bit of a trust fall involved there. If you try to hold on, it sometimes can bind you up and make you feel all wrinkled up and you kind of end up falling to the floor. So maybe play with letting go. Why don't we practice together now that you've seen it? I'm gonna give you a second. I'm gonna get some water. How is your day going? Mine's going splendid. Love to get back. All right, let's see how this goes. I'm actually gonna turn this off now because I don't want that to happen again. All right, so we are live. Sound, hopefully the sound isn't too echoing. Let's get ready for our infinity loop from downward facing dog. We're gonna practice coming in. We'll do 2 infinity loop flips, and then let's practice coming out, okay? Hands are shoulder and hip distance apart. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, walking the feet back, flexing the feet, lifting the hips in line with the heels and opening the legs into that big changer kick, the wide feet, hooking the feet on the outside edges of your hammock. And if you're wearing socks, now's a good time to take them off so your feet can get a little bit more grip. Again, on an inhale, I wind it up by kind of walking forward, but not necessary. And exhale, swing, walk up as much as you can with those hands, keeping those legs straight and stiff, and then swing forward and taking one arm through, hold on, and then take the other arm through. All right, so we made it. We are going to fold forward. For that, you're going to do that reverse grip. There's my flamingo. I take my legs together, knees together through the plumb line, open wide as soon as I pass the middle of my plumb line. I'll show you one more time and hopefully we can kind of slow-mo this. So start here. Down. All right, so that was 2 times. Now we're going to practice backing out. So I'll start to lean back. Notice my heels are together, my legs are still straight. I'm going to slide my hands down pretty close toward my thighs so that as I roll back, and notice my legs immediately are in that wide V. Let go. You can take your hands to the earth, or you can just swing and bounce a couple times. Bring the legs together, feet hip distance apart. Bring the fabric to your belly. Drop all your body weight. Inhale, squeeze your stomach muscle. Squeeze it harder. Drop more body weight. You're bending the knees. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. And roll it up. Awesome job. We're going to open the hammock and get in it and enjoy that dopamine rush. Grab the edge of your hammock closest to you. Go ahead and flag it out. Turn around, keeping that fabric in your hand behind you. Open the fabric up, hip distance. My thumbs are in, but all my 4 fingers are out. I'll walk back under my plumb line, lift one knee, slide the fabric under that bottom, and then under both thighs. You'll lean back, always dropping the head first into the hammock, and then walk the legs in. Remember, you have more than enough hammock from fingertips to toes to get them in the game. So feel free to squeeze your whole body in there. And we'll be here for a couple minutes as we balance our flow back out. Breathe deep. Enjoy that dopamine rush to our brain and the happiness that it releases. Maybe finding a 4-count inhale matched by a 4-count exhale. but you don't have enough that it's too curled up on the edge. We don't want it to feel like a rope under our neck. So give yourself enough that it covers the whole shoulder head, but doesn't upset the back of your neck to be here. And then we'll walk the heels to the edge of the hammock toward our legs so that our feet are out, ankles are out, but the legs are in, like just to the ankles. Yeah? All right, hands will reach for the plumb line on either side, just above your shoulder. And we're coming into shoulder stand. So we're going to be essentially inverted completely with our feet above our shoulders. To get there, we'll open our legs into a wide V, keeping tension with your ankle on the fabric, and then flex the feet so the legs are straight and stiff. Squeeze your plumb line with the arches of your feet. So you do not need to point them in, just flex them. And then we are going to pull with our hands to kind of help lift our bottom and squeeze our arches in so we get that tension to slide our feet up to the ceiling and lift our whole body. So squeeze your inner thigh, start to squeeze the fabric with your feet, and then lift yourself until the shoulders are above, the hips are above the shoulders and the heels are above the hips. All right, from here we can relax our palms somewhere on our belly, and we should be able to kind of move our head a little bit so it's not completely restricting movement for the head. And stay right here. There's also a up level to this pose that we'll practice in just a minute. And just kind of practice keeping the glutes engaged. So they are squeezing, they're not pushing forward, but they're squeezing. And keeping the legs stable, so you're not going wild with the legs. And once you have kind of reached your maximum here, reached about 5 breaths, we'll open the fabric up behind us with our hands. And we're just going to open our hands shoulder distance apart. They don't have to find the edge at all. Just open it up so that it's there. That little bucket of fabric is there to receive your bottom so that your bottom doesn't fall down. Okay? So we're going to exhale, start to roll your spine back down to the earth slowly, and that hammock's going to catch you. And then you see how it caught your hips. You can walk your legs in and extend them in and bring that head back in. And you're going to have to give a good pull on that fabric to get your head in, maybe even lifting your hips and sliding fabric up toward your head. Crisscross your forearms over your chest like a mummy. And let's take 10 deep breaths. Again, that might sound like a 4-count inhale, matched by a 4-count exhale, and perhaps a 4-count hold at the end. Jump our head out once more. Make sure the shoulders are covered. And there's not too much fabric around the neck. Extend your feet out, legs are straight, hands reach for either side of your plumb line, and then inhale, open the legs as wide as you can. Hook the arches of the feet above your hands on your plumb line. Squeeze the inner thighs together and give a good pull on that hammock to lift your hips up. This time we're going to practice inverted Baddha Konasana from shoulder stand. So to do that, I'm just going to extend one leg out to the side, kicking through the heel. That leg is straight. I bend the knee and press the shin into my plumb line. You can hook the foot if you want. Extend the other leg out to the other side. Make sure that fabric clears your knee, so your knee isn't captured by it. And then bend the knee,
Again, press the whole leg, the whole shin into the fabric, and let's see if we can get those soles of the feet to meet like two little bookends, and we can bring the palms together, also like little bookends. Now here's the kind of secret sauce that turns this pose on. We're gonna press the soles of the feet together and let that kind of lift your tailbone up. So your top of your glutes are supporting your lower back. And we feel really strong, even in this inverted flying pose. Feel free to close your eyes and enjoy the blood flow moving evenly toward your heart, your head, your stomach. And again, to come out, I'm going to hook my feet for just a second so that I can move my hands around behind me without my hands feeling like they have to do a lot of work. So I've reached behind me and I've opened up that fabric. I'm holding it under my bottom so I can slowly lower down. Hands don't want to be trapped back there. And then bring your legs in and bring your head on in. And again, we'll have 10 deep breaths. Perhaps this time crisscrossing your forearms over your stomach. And also perhaps this time trying to extend the breath to a 5-count inhale, matched by a 5-count exhale, and using 3-part breathing to get there. So using your stomach, your ribs, and your chest. And typically, if we're just starting 3-part breathing, it's kind of hard to match, 2 counts in each part. So it ends up kind of looking like 2 counts in the stomach, 2 counts in the ribs, and 1 count in the chest. And then you would exhale the same, belly, ribs, and chest. 2, 2, 1. So we'll try it now. Drop our head out, cover the shoulders, make sure the neck isn't getting, strangled slowly. And we'll try that shoulder stand. We're going to come into it a different way. So instead of coming into it how we have been, we're actually going to do a flip and bring our feet to the floor. And then when we flip back up, we're going to flip into that shoulder stand. So I'll demonstrate now. I'm going to bring the legs together through my plumb line, similar to plow pose. I'll flex the feet, the legs are stiff and straight, the heels are squeezing together. I will use my hands on the opposite sides of on the same sides of my plumb line as my hand, and I'm going to repel the fabric. So instead of pulling myself up, I'm actually pressing my palms and pushing the fabric away to help press my chest forward, and I can just let those feet touch. They tap the floor, and I'm going to donkey kick myself with my heels to my bottom to flip myself back up and see if I can actually come straight into the shoulder. So I will like this, and then around the front this time. So if it felt more comfortable how you had before, you can always work your legs back into how you had them, but it's probably going to be easier to get the legs up just by coming with the legs come straight up. And then we can practice coming back down again. So let's go together, toes tap, and then get rid of that donkey kick so the knees bend. And we do involve a